Yeah, so you've probably seen the logo of these shoes somewhere, in animes perhaps, or in other sports. But for basketball? Hey everyone, peace and blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, please subscribe, like, and give a comment. Your support really means a lot to us. So in this video, we will be taking a look at these guys here, the ASICS Invade Nova. These guys are from the Japanese company ASICS. So ASICS is actually a company that has a really long and rich history. The company was founded in 1949, going by the name of Onitsuka. And ASICS is actually short for Anima sana in corpore sano, which is Latin for a sound mind in a sound body. And it's actually a very old company. It even came before Nike. In fact, the origins of Nike are actually connected to ASICS. Nike was found to distribute ASICS shoes to the US, and a lot of things happened, obviously, and they went separate ways. So in this modern day, ASICS is actually more known for their running shoes and also for volleyball, and they also have great tennis shoes as well. As a matter of fact, Novak Djokovic, who just won in Wimbledon, has signature shoes from ASICS. So ASICS as a company is no slouch. They're a well-known company, but they're not really well-known for their basketball sneakers. And if you're a fan of manga or anime, you probably have heard of Slam Dunk. And in the manga or anime, a lot of players use ASICS shoes. And ASICS have actually made it into the NBA, where they had signature shoes for Isaiah Thomas and also Charles Smith back in the early 1990s. But I don't really know what happened. In fact, when I checked the shoe databases in Kickstats and also Baller Shoes DB, no NBA players are currently using ASICS shoes. It's actually a shame that these guys are not that popular in the NBA, because as you probably also know, that Japanese engineering and craftsmanship are second to none. They're really good at producing high quality products. So hopefully these guys, or the future versions of these guys, could enter the US. ASICS themselves have a rigid structure for basketball shoes. I mean, they have a clear segmentation for which shoes for what type of player. Now these guys are the ASICS Invade Nova, and from the description in their website, these guys are for players who are more direct, who like to use power moves, 1-2 dribbles, and then go to the rim. And frankly speaking, I agree with that description. As for cushioning, these guys have flight foam and also this gel cushioning here. And I have to say that the cushioning on these guys are a bit stiff. Even after playing in them for a couple of hours, they stayed stiff. But nevertheless, in my opinion, the impact protection works, because after playing in them for a couple of hours, I didn't really feel any problems or any pain to my knees. So the ASICS gel and the flight foam carrier works pretty well, but they're definitely not the best. As for comfort, I think I actually took the wrong size for these guys. I usually use a size 10 US or 44 EU when I use Nike shoes, and I went with that for these guys. And it turns out that these guys run wide and also long. So if you plan to get these guys from abroad, it would be best if you go down half a size at least. I tried to compromise by using 2 layers of socks, and it worked pretty well. But looking at the padding here, the padding are really nice. They have a lot of padding on the heel area and also in the shoes as well. So in terms of comfort, if you get the right fit, I think they will be very comfortable for you. Breathability for these guys are okay. I didn't feel my feet sweat too much in them, but they're definitely not shoes that have a lot of ventilation. In fact, the uppers here are pretty thick, and there are a couple of layers to the uppers, as you can see. But comfort for me was okay. They're pretty comfortable, even after playing in them for a couple of hours for pickup games, so no problems whatsoever in this department. As for lockdown, I'm not really a big fan of this lacing system. They use a flywire lacing system here, and they combine that with a strap here. And in my opinion, the straps helped a lot. I personally didn't feel any heel slippage or my feet moving in the footbed, so lockdown is top-notch. Bear in mind that these were a bit big for me, so being able to get good lockdown despite of that is a good thing in my opinion. So the straps help keep your foot glued to the footbed, and there's an additional layer here that helps lockdown. So lockdown, in my opinion, is top-notch, especially if you get the right fit for you. As for materials, I think this is one of the high points of the shoes. So the uppers are made out of multi-layered mesh fabric with some fuse overlays in the toe box area, and they also have some leather in the heel area. And the overall details of the shoe is pretty amazing in my opinion. You get these different patterns that are really well made, typical of Japanese craftsmanship and also engineering, even though these guys are made in Vietnam like other basketball shoes nowadays. Again, fit will play a big role in stability and support. The better fit you get, the better stability and support that you will get as well. Even though these guys were a bit large for me, I used 2 layers of socks and I felt safe playing in them. They're not too high off the ground, but they're not low to the ground either. They have pretty wide outsoles, and there are outriggers here that will help you with stability. And because these guys are mid-tops, they will probably have effect or impact on protecting your ankles. And I almost got my ankles sprained when playing in these guys when I tried to box out for a rebound, but the shoes helped prevent it and I was able to continue playing. The traction for these guys are great out of the box. I didn't need any braking in time at all for the traction here, so they just gripped really well to the floor that I played on. I didn't experience any slips whatsoever, so the rubber compound and the traction pattern works really great. And as for aesthetics, I really like the way they look. They have an old school touch to them, but they also look modern, especially in terms of the ergonomics of the shoe. And the small details as well, as I've mentioned, is really nice. I really like the patterns here that they put on the shoe. So yeah, in my opinion, the aesthetics are pretty good. I took this colorway, and another colorway that I also liked was the white and green or kale colorway, but at the time I got these, only these colors were available, so I took these. In terms of price, these guys go for 2.2 million rupees or around 146 US dollars, but I got these at a discounted price at around 1.5 million rupees or around $100. And I think the price point is pretty good. In fact, even if they were sold at their original price point, I think they are still a good deal just because of the materials that are being used and also the craftsmanship. So again, my only gripe with these guys is the fit. If you can try them out in stores, you should do so, but I'm guessing that many of you are going to get these from overseas, so I suggest that you go down half a size at least. Once again, they do run long and wide, but they are really good performers. And it's a shame, it's a pity that they haven't received much exposure, but hopefully it can change in the near future. So that's my take on the ASICS Invade Nova. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Peace and blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you in the next video.